Welcome to the Kern High Network, streaming live online from Bakersfield, California. Streaming live online at KernHighNetwork.com. Good evening, everybody. Tom Myers joined up here in the booth by Kyle Wiley. We're here for a South Yosemite League matchup between Ridgeview, the Ridgeview Wolfpack, hosting the East High Blades. And tonight, both teams come into the season 1-1. Oddly enough, both have a loss to Tehachapi, Kyle.
Yeah.
And so what we're hoping to see tonight is what these two teams are made of. Both of them right now tied for second in the South Yosemite League. And what do you see as far as our matchup goes for this game?
Well, we've seen in the past few years that Ridgeview and East Bakersfield High School have been solid D2, D3 teams that in the South Yosemite League, they're always kind of the spoiler for one of the teams such as Independence or Tehachapi that are usually have been carrying that SYL kind of crown the last few years. Johnita Clemens is a longtime East High coach. She brings a lot of discipline, a lot of passion to the team. She does a great job getting her girls ready to go. And if we look at, our first-year coach from Ridgeview, Deb Whitby, actually her second year, she's brought in a little bit of her passion for the game of volleyball. She was kind of in quasi-admin a little bit at Shafter and all that, but one thing she said to me before the game, she just missed the kids and missed coaching the kids and all that stuff. So there is a passion. As both, I think these teams are in a little bit of a transition time. There was some talent last year at East High School, and then now that some of those seniors have graduated, so they're trying to find their identity. And right now what we're starting to see a little bit of that with the Wolfpack as well.
Yeah, the East High Blades full of a bunch of juniors and seniors, and oddly enough, those juniors and seniors tend to be young. As I spoke with Johnita Clemens earlier in the evening, she had said that a lot of her juniors and seniors are underage. They're 16 and 15 years old as juniors and seniors. So she gets them inexperienced at a young age, and unfortunately building on a program when you have players that are generally a year behind their counterparts on the other side of the net, that tends to work against you a little bit. Yeah. For the Ridgeview Wolfpack this evening, Deb Whitby, I had a conversation with her earlier this evening, and she said this team is a really cohesive group of kids, and they really get along well together. There's a real love for each other, and they play well together. So we're going to see kind of how things match up this evening. Both teams, like I said, once again, come into the season with a loss each to Tehachapi. And so hopefully, one loss, I think I'm a little off on that. Yeah. Golden Valley beat Ridgeview earlier in the season, and Tehachapi beat East earlier in the season. So, again, both teams 1-1. A big thank you to our sponsors, our main sponsors, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, as well as the U.S. Army for their support. We're streaming live online at KernHighNetwork.com. And now we're going to take it down to the court for the national anthem and the kickoff of tonight's announcements for the players of the game, everyone starting. We've got a couple of starting lineups. We might as well get to those right now before the national anthem, don't you think?
Yeah, we'll see the direction they're going on right here. They've had some technical difficulties on the clock and all that, so we'll kind of see the direction, what's going on. It appears that they're going to maybe announce first. We'll see what the direction we go right here. And we're still waiting right here to see what direction we're going to do, if it's going to be the starting lineups first or if it's going to be the national anthem. One thing I can tell you about this, we talked about this Ridgeview team as they're kind of getting back. And let's listen to the PA announcer first before we get into some other things.
And they're going to start off with the announcement of the starting lineup, so we'll get to those real quick.
Number 1, Mariah Tillery's coming out. She's going to be playing libero. Number 2, Precious Gonzalez. She's the left outside hitter. She is a phenomenal athlete out there. We'll talk about her throughout the night. Number 3, Madeline Granados, is a right side middle hitter as well. And it looks like we got Soleil Bomber coming out. She's a junior. Once again, she's a setter, and we talk about this young class. Number 9, Jackie Mejarado, interesting story, basketball player as well. We'll talk about that. She comes out super athlete to get out there. Number 10, Alyssa Barraza, and number 12, Marin Aldana round up the starting lineup for the East High Blades.
And for the Wolfpack, their starting setter, senior number 3, Cora Garcia. And Garcia currently leads the league in aces with 58 this season. Their junior libero, number 6, Alyssa Hammond. Sophomore right side hitter, number 8, Emma Beals. Junior outside hitter, number 11, Crystal Zavala. And Crystal currently leading in kills in the league with 194 this season. Sophomore outside hitter, number 13, Luca Van Fossen. Junior middle hitter, number 14, Kylie Salinas. And a freshman middle hitter, number 18, Paige Miller.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those this year. Think of Highland, the super sensational freshman that we saw out there. So as we do always, we're going to pause for the national anthem, and we're going to go mute.
And once again, we're going to be back right now, getting ready to set off this game. Once again, both teams 1-1, looking to take sole possession of second place in the South Yosemite League. Currently, league standings, Tehachapi 2-0. Golden Valley is 2-1. They have an extra game already in the record books for the season so far. Ridgeview and East both tied at 1-1. Independence at 1-1, and West at 0-2.
And one thing I was talking about earlier is about East High. They have a number of girls that play multiple sports, and we've kind of seen Jackie Mejarado. She was, outstanding last year. Kern High Network covered a few of her games inside as a jumper, a blocker, a rebounder, very solid on the basketball court. See how this translates out, on the volleyball court as well. And Precious Gonzalez, very interesting. She looks like she's going to play collegiately in Missouri, some volleyball. On the basketball court, super athlete, maybe not as polished or as skilled, but you can tell that she is definitely athletic, definitely has a vertical leap on her, and see if they're able to use those skills tonight.
Yeah, Precious came up to the box a little bit earlier and kind of gave you a little bit of a ribbing. In full disclosure, you're an East High guy.
Yeah.
So you had looking for a little bit of favoritism from her on the broadcast this evening, I think. So she gave you a little bit of a what for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here we go to kick off the first set.
It appears that Garcia is going to start off, the one that you talked about earlier that leads the South Yosemite League in aces and all that stuff. So we'll kind of see how she gets started right now. Numbers just a little bit difficult from the Ridgeview side. The white-on-white numbers that go on there, we'll do our best we can to have on there. My young guys will help carry us tonight, Tom. So
yeah, I forgot my glasses this evening, so we're going to have a little bit of a problem with that. But, you know, it's like anything. A couple of years ago, I remember Frontier High School, the place where I announce football games, decided in their infinite wisdom to make the black and the blue about as close to each other's color as you can make black and blue. So the numbers in blue and the jerseys in black didn't really help us any.
Yeah.
They've since changed that opinion and are going with a little bit lighter color on that blue, making it a little easier to read those jerseys. So,
you know, good little segue before, you know, the officials get all the lineups and get all the rotations set up. Friday night, we have 2 big football games. You, my friend, are going to be leading the play-by-play with Rick Van Horn as color commentating on there. It is going to be Liberty, Frontier at Liberty. What a matchup to look at, kind of a measuring stick for both teams as we look at that. So that should be a very exciting game.
Yeah, Frontier coming into the season 5-0, and Liberty a 1-4, which I think might be a little deceiving.
Yeah.
You know, they've had a tough schedule. The only comparison we can make so far is that Frontier did beat Ridgeview in the second week, I believe, and Liberty did not beat Ridgeview. But they just had Oaks Christian this last week, which is a big contest, and you're traveling, and so we can't really get a real barometer yet. I think the same thing held true for BHS on Friday night as well. And then the Civil War over at Vance Baum's going to be handling that one. Is that at South or North High?
It's going to be at North High, North versus South, and it's going to be a big game for the Perpetual Sword that they always play for every single year. Looking at the data suggests that North High hasn't had the sword since 2010.
The North High is a little different team this year.
A little different team. South High is a little different team. They've lost a few key pieces, and it should set up for a nice game in Oildale.
Yeah, that game against West the other night didn't exactly go their way.
And West has kind of changed this year.
West is definitely a contender this year. I saw them against Stockdale in the first half, down 13-14.
Yeah,
and in the second half didn't really go the same way, but they really showed something in that first half. So,
all right, here we go.
So Ridgeview to serve to start the game. And number 9, Jackie Mejorado on the kill. First one right out the gate. Back serving for the Blaze, number 3, Madeline Granados. And there's that big middle hitter, number 14, Kylie Salinas, the junior, putting the ball away. Marissa Camacho now subbing in for East. And back to serve number 13, Luca Van Fossen. And that one sails just a little bit long on the East High Blades. And Ridgeview up 2-1 early in the set. Good back set and a big swing by Jackie Mejorado. We're going to be mentioning her name all night long.
Absolutely.
And Kyle, on that play, you know, that was a quick set in the middle. They're not too high. She had the option and went around the back side of the setter and got a back set to put it away. That confuses the blockers just a little bit.
Little palm push right there on the serve.
And a big block in the middle by number 9, Jackie Mejorado.
And very similar to basketball, we look at very aggressive. We say at the rim, getting the rebounds and all this stuff right here, very aggressive at the net, both with her kill and with the block early on.
And Barraza puts that one in the net, and it'll be side out for the Ridgeview Wolfpack. Now back to serve number 18, Paige Miller, the freshman. And that one's going to sail a little bit long.
You know, we see back-to-back, you know, points on a missed serve, those unforced errors that we talk about, you know, last week at Independence Golden Valley. In every game that we've covered, which team could rebound from those mistakes?
Mejorado with the serve. And a big knuckleball just too deep. Now back to serve number 5, Leilani Natividad. And just got the dink over the net, number 12, Marin Aldana. East leading 5-4 early here in the first set. Back to serve now, number 8, Soleil Bomber. And Precious Gonzalez with a big swing. Hard cross court on that one.
Absolutely. We see some of that natural athleticism that she has and brings to the table. Definitely aggressive. Definitely a good player there for East High.
And a good block at the net there. And Gonzalez not able to put that one over the net, puts it right into the middle. Ridgeview down so far 6-5 here in the first set. Now serving number 11, Crystal Zavala. Zavala, junior outside hitter. And the pass just over the net and put away by Kylie Salinas. And we're tied up now.
And early on, these teams look even matched. We'll see who can make that run to go on there.
I think we're going to have a battle of who makes the least mistakes tonight. And mistakes like the one you just saw in that hitting error.
Yeah.
Madeline Granados putting that one into the net. Not quite confident on that swing. Those unforced errors, coaches really don't like those. And the tip off the block. That one put away by number 13, Luca Van Fossen. And a raucous crowd here tonight in the gymnasium here. Unfortunately, the other side stands wouldn't come out this evening. And so we've got both teams on the same side with us this evening. Our crowd microphone might pick up some pretty interesting chatter this evening, I think. Gonzalez back to serve. And as always, Kevin Willey with us on the camera this evening. One of the best in the business, getting all the great shots for tonight's broadcast.
We'll clarify that with the best in the business.
Yeah, the best. And Gonzalez puts that one into the net, and coach doesn't seem too happy about that one. And she's asking Gonzalez to check something out before the game continues here. And the officials are going to get together for a conference here real quick to figure out what's going on.
We got to give a shout out to some of the people that have allowed this to really come to fruition. Our board of trustees have really gotten behind a lot of things that we've done. We've seen that a number of times in a number of different ways. Jerry O'Connell the other day at halftime of the BHS Ridgeview game came on there, really expressed his appreciation for what we're doing. The other thing that we're looking at too is our superintendent, Dr. Brian Schaefer, has been behind us from the very beginning and allowed us to be out there. Dr. Brenda Lewis, the assistant superintendent of instruction. Dr. Dee McGee, the assistant superintendent of innovative services and programs, as well as our fine director, Stan Green, of school support services, that has really led the way. His vision to have a live streaming network where we showcase all of our students.
And a big thank you goes out to you, Kyle. You set this whole thing up week in, week out. You keep us all scheduled, and boy, we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And, what a great tool this has become for the district. And now Deb Whitby having to come over and have a little conversation with the rooting section. Apparently there was an issue with them using a megaphone, just a little old style, little cone. And the rooting section now has been told that they cannot use that here in the arena. So
maybe out on the football field, but not here inside a gym.
Yeah, it's a little familiar in here. Now serving Kylie Salinas. for the Wolfpack. And with the swing out of the back row, number 11, Crystal Zavala puts that one in the net. And it's 9-8 here in the first set.
And we can definitely see that athleticism with Zavala right there, just kind of getting up a different way that she jumps and hits the ball. She has a little more consistency on that for the Wolfpack.
And that one just hits softly over the net by Leilani Natividad.
Yeah.
And she's going to head out, swapped out by number 8, Emma Beals. And we've made one full rotation. Now we're back around to the setter, number 3, Cora Garcia. Garcia, once again, the leader in aces here in the league so far this season. And the big swing by number 10, Alyssa Barraza.
And that's Bomber right there on the set right there. I thought did a pretty good job going behind her head a little bit.
That's the second time, actually, that we've seen that. Once earlier in the game with Precious Gonzalez. And now doing the same thing with Barraza. Madeline Granados with the serve and the ace. Granados, the last time she was serving, she put one right in the net, so a little atonement there.
Yeah.
Tied at 10 here in the first set. And Granados again with another ace. Granados, a senior middle hitter. And Kyle, we had a little conversation earlier about, basketball players that get into this sport and get involved, and it's all about the rebounding ability of some of those basketball players that gives them the ability to get up and block right because they see the ball where it's going to be at that apex.
Yeah.
And the big kill there by number 18, Paige Miller, the freshman, once again for Ridgeview, putting the ball away. Now back to serve number 13, Luca Von Fossen. Good serve by Von Fossen, and that's set just over the net, and she can't put it away. Miller puts the ball in the net, point to the Blades. Now subbing in for Ridgeview, number 2, Dora Herrera. First time we've seen her in the game tonight. And back to serve number 10, Alyssa Barraza. And Barraza sends that one wide out of bounds.
I think it's a good time to let you guys know sometimes I get a little quiet because I'm putting replays onto our Twitter and our Facebook pages.
Yeah, be sure to follow us on Twitter at KHSD Athletics. Also on YouTube at KHSD Athletics.
Yeah.
Kyle does a great job of showing replays and great highlights from tonight's game, so you can catch all the great action there.
Yeah. And we'll archive the game, KernHighNetwork.com as well. So, Navarado, wow.
Jackie with the ace on the play, and the Blades libero, number 1, Mariah Tillery, now back in the game. Mayorado with the serve. And she really tried to put something on that one, but sunk it into the net. Substitutions for the Wolfpack now in the game. Number 1, Brianna Ontiveros. And serving number 5, Leilani Natividad. And that one put away by the Wolfpack. Tied at 14 now still here in the first set. Natividad to serve again. Nice floater over the net. And tipped by the setter, number 8, Soleil Bomber. Big swing out there on the left side by number 11, Crystal Zavala. Wolfpack ahead right now 15-14 here in the first set. On a little bit of a run here. Big set in the middle and put away by number 2, Precious Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a big swing off the one set. Bomber really putting the money on the dot right there. Fantastic job. And a great pass, too.
And you see that athleticism, timed it perfectly, got up high, delivered a good strike. So,
and Bomber puts it in the net. Point to the Wolfpack. Now subbing in for Ridgeview, number 13, Luca Von Fossen, and back to serve number 11, Crystal Zavala. Zavala served just long. Point to East.
Like you said, it's like we're trying to find that run right here, and neither team can find that consistency to really pull away from the other.
You know, most teams have the first set blues. Gonzalez here to serve. And again, the unforced errors.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Coach Clemens is going to have something to say about that. Those unforced errors where you're putting the ball in the net really isn't helping.
Yeah.
When you're fighting an uphill battle. Salinas now to serve. Kylie sends it deep. And the big swing out of the back row. Precious Gonzalez.
He's really bringing that hammer tonight.
Incredible vertical on that play. Blade libero, number 1, Mariah Tillery now serving. And she sends that one wide left. Substitutions now in the game. Number 8, Emma Beals in the game. Emma, a club player with my daughter this past season for Bakersfield Volleyball Club. Emma's only a sophomore this year. And Crystal Zavala with the swing out of the back sends it into the net. Point to the Blades.
Those unforced errors that you talk about, hitting it into the net, give the team a chance. But you can definitely see Cora Garcia's got some skill on that service. Got a lot of mustard on that ball when she hits it, a lot of movement.
Yeah, Maddie Granado sends that one wide right. Granado's had 2 aces the last time she was up to serve.
Yeah.
And she's going to come out of the game, and replacing her, number 7, Arissa Camacho. Now serving number 13, Luca Von Fossen for the Wolfpack. And that ball not easily handled by the libero, Alyssa Hammond. Point to the Blades.
Had to make a decision right there. Got kind of crossed up in between right there.
Yeah, you don't know whether you want to go overhand or underhand on those. Usually you want to take a step back on that one and try and pass the ball. Big swing by Gonzalez. And a free ball back over. And the Ridgeview Wolfpack called in the net. Point to the Blades. They're up 20-19 now in the first set.
And it's Bombers playing a really good, nice game as the setter right there, giving good balls, good opportunities for those kills to take place for the Blades.
Barraza with a floater just over the net. And a big block at the net. And Gonzalez is called in the net. Point to the Wolfpack. We're tied at 20. Now serving Paige Miller. Miller, the freshman middle hitter. That's going to be a free ball back over. And a big swing by Jackie Mejorado, but it sends it long. And the Wolfpack takes the lead 21-20.
And once again, it's Bomber given an opportunity for that. A little aggressive right there, but you can definitely see that Bomber is kind of that glue for that Blades team.
And that one's just inside the line. Miller with the ace. And Gonzalez with the kill, and that was all set up by the libero, Mariah Tillery.
Yeah.
She really made a great pass to Bomber, who was able to get that pass up. Now serving for East, number 8, Soleil Bomber. Correction, number 9, Jackie Mejarado. Mejarado with a really, really hard serve. And they can't handle it, put it over the net, and Precious Gonzalez puts it away.
We've been saying that name a lot as far as her kill game and what she's been able to bring to it. And just like that, just when you think Ridgeview's going to make a little run, now it's tied 22-22.
Yeah, Mejarado not having a lot of luck in the beginning getting that fast serve over, but it bites.
Yeah.
And just tips the net. She's got a lot of topspin on it. And that one just a little bit long. Good set by Cora Garcia on that play, but her hitter, number 14, Kylie Salinas, not able to put it down. And timeout called.
You know, you look at Mejarado. She is a little anxious, it looks like. She's trying to press it a little bit. She was kind of like that in basketball on the offensive end, a little bit pressing, but she is aggressive at the net. She's aggressive when she tries to hit it. She just takes, like, it's hard to explain to young athletes sometimes. Just take like a half a second off so you can slow it down just a little bit. You kind of understand where I'm going with.
Yeah, I made the mention earlier about the first set jitters. A lot of these teams have that, and it's at all levels. And usually what you see is, serves not making it in.
Yeah.
Serves going long. The touch is lacking in the first set.
Yeah.
Usually I think they come out and they want to swing, and sometimes you can't swing because sometimes you're not in the right spot on the ball, and it's all about timing and getting that down. So they'll work this out in the first set, and then we'll see a little bit more control, I think, going into the second and third sets. And that one called in.
They're going to call that in.
Jackie Mejarado with the ace. And some of the fans here on the Ridgeview side want a replay on that. And it's set point now for the East High Blades, ahead 24-22 in the first set. Mejarado with a hard swing on the serve, and that one just long. So it's 23-24 now, and the Wolfpack will serve.
What a tough call for usually a JV kid or something like that that's calling the lines to step up and have some integrity when you know those, especially when you're at home. So
yeah, Natividad now with the serve. And the big swing once again by Precious Gonzalez. And the Blades take the first set 25-23. So far what we've seen is we've seen a lot of back and forth between these two teams, and not a big advantage for either one. But, honestly, I think that what we're going to see here in the second set is a little bit more control. We're going to see probably far fewer serving errors, and might even see a little bit more blocking going into here as the timing starts to get worked up on the defensive side of the ball.
And I think if you're Ridgeview, you got to somehow get Paige Miller more involved, get her some more kills. I mean, she definitely, I think, is the focal point for Ridgeview moving on and all that. But if I'm Johnita Clemens, I'm looking at, a healthy dose of Precious Gonzalez, and I'm looking at Jackie Mejarado, and keep feeding Bomber the ball because she's setting up her teammates nicely. And I think that's been a good formula in that first game. Yeah,
one of the problems that Ridgeview is seeing so far is that their setter, Cora Garcia, really hasn't had a lot of help from the libero and the defensive specialists in passing the ball. So she's not able to put the ball up there for her hitters, and that, it all starts with your passing. And so when your passing isn't working, then it gets a little bit more complicated in order to put the ball in the right spot for your hitters. So I think we're going to see that tightened up a little bit here. Usually the DS and the libero in the first set, sometimes they're trying to shake off the jitters and get into the game so that they can get things kind of rolling. And I think we're going to see a little bit more of that here going in the second set.
And you made just such a great point about the passing, and I've made no qualms about it. I am not a volleyball guy. I'm learning this game on the go from the greats of you and Vance, Palm, and Lewis Hamistoy, learning the game. But what I am is an athlete, and I know that, playing basketball all these years, any little tip ball here or there or miss, just an inch here or there, if I'm playing football and I'm catching a ball, that could slow the momentum of a route or slow something right here. What I've noticed in volleyball, just I mean, just a pass that's off just an inch or two like that can really slow the momentum of any kills or any momentum for a team to really pick up traction and speed going forward.
Well, and Kyle, it's funny that you mentioned that because, I had that conversation earlier with both coaches, and this is a game of momentum. Yeah. And the one thing that, we did have a conversation with when I talked to Deb Whitby is that she said that her girls – they're there for each other. Yeah. They like to get the momentum going and keep the momentum going, and they don't really beat each other up when they start to get down. So this loss on the first set, I can guarantee you they put that one behind them, and they're just ready to play the second set and win another set here.
And we'll see if either team in this second set, like you said about momentum going forward, if either team can really pull away and have a decisive victory. I mean, East High wins the first set 25-23. The whole first set was a 2-point differential either way, so we'll see if any team could really separate themselves. And I think the most critical game is game 2 that kind of decides what the direction the game's going to go.
And you're right. I mean, how many balls did we see put in the net or put long or, errors that could have happened all during the whole game in that first set. So now serving number 3, Madeline Granados. And Granados once again having a little bit of trouble with the serve. Again, she had 2 aces in that first set, so I'm surprised that, coming out into this second set in the first service that she put that one in the net. Garcia having a little bit of trouble getting a good pass there, having to set the ball from the back row. And that ball put away by number 10, Alyssa Barraza.
You see Barraza right here is kind of that unsung hero in the midst of those super athletes in Mejerado and Gonzalez, and even Bomber is the setter. She's kind of just plays a solid game. She palm hits it right here on the serve.
It's a palm serve that is very unusual, but it's effective because it's short. Yeah. And that one sent long by Ana Veras.
Is it the knuckleball in baseball? You know what I mean?
It's unusual, but it drops right over the net. And believe it or not, that's really a hard serve to work on. And then she's going to a harder serve on that one to throw them off. Some servers will serve a knuckleball, and then they'll serve a sinker, much like a pitcher does in baseball. Yeah. And so you don't want to put it in the same spot every time. You want to mix it up, and they do a good job of that sometimes on some of these kids that really learn how to effectively serve and do well with a lot of aces. Big swing right there by Gonzalez. And that one sails a little bit long on Mejerado there. 3-2 here in the second set. Ridgeview leading.
Zavala had a nice dig right there for the Ridgeview Wolfpack.
And a nice back set there by Garcia. Good block at the net by Kylie Salinas. And a smart tip there by Mejerado, but it's dug out there by the libero for the Wolfpack. And that one put away by Mejerado.
Great effort by both teams on there. Hammond with a nice save attempt for the Wolfpack.
Now Mejerado to serve, tied here at 3 in the second set. And a blazing serve for the ace. Hard swing from behind the service line back there for Mejerado. And once again, Mejerado with the ace. The DS number 11, Crystal Zavala, having a little trouble there in the back row handling that one. It's coming really fast. And East up 5-3 here in the second set. And Zavala, a little bit of revenge there.
Yeah. Well, you see that
with the kill.
Mejerado's got that sinking fastball that goes in there.
You can see the spin from here. It's remarkable. Now serving number 14, Kylie Salinas for the Wolfpack. Good tip of the net by Balmer. And that one just tipped over the net by Crystal Zavala for a Wolfpack score. Salinas once again to serve. Oh, you can't quit playing yet. What did they call? They called the Wolfpack in the net on that one.
We thought it was a nice block right there. Definitely had some muster on that. That's Kari Walton coming in there, making a block. Controversial call maybe to look at that, but nonetheless, the Blades get the point.
Bomber with the serve. Big set in the middle, and it's blocked. Yeah, on the block there, number 12, Marin Aldana. East High up 7-5 here in the second set. Bomber once again to serve. Good dig out of the back row by Mariah Tillery, but they couldn't handle the ball.
One thing I will notice about Meharado, despite her athleticism, her hand placement on the ball and some of those kills are a little off. It's like me trying to hit it. I get it off. Sometimes you got to hit it exactly right to get that kill.
Yeah, sometimes the timing gets a little bit off, and you're not quite where you want to be. You're either up a little early or you're late. It really is hitting is an art, and you really got to be on time in order to hit the ball effectively. And that's a big swing right there by number 11, Crystal Zavala, but it sails long just past the end line. Precious Gonzalez back to serve for the Blades. They're up 8-6 here in the second. And that called wide left. It was called in. It was called in by the line judge over here on the East High side. But the two officials disagreed, and the point's going to go to Ridgeview. Now in the game for Ridgeview, Luca Von Fossen back to serve number 11, Crystal Zavala.
Little indecisiveness with these judges right here. They're trying to figure out, who said what. At least have that discussion and conversation with your line judge to see what it is. But nonetheless.
East High trying to get a second opinion, but to no avail. I have yet to see them change their opinion. And a little indecisiveness on that play. Almost put over the net by Kari Walton. Now serving for East, Mariah Tillery. Tillery, junior libero. All 5'3" of her, and she gets the ace.
And does Eastside make this run right now? First time we've seen a 3-point lead by either team all night.
Yeah, East winning right now 10-7 here in the second set. Tillery again with the serve. And the lift called on Madeline Granados, point to Ridgeview. Back to serve for the Wolfpack, junior libero Alyssa Hammond.
Overall solid play tonight, I would say. There are little mistakes here or there, but it's not like it's completely sloppy. Yeah,
and right as you say that, she sends one out of bounds on the right side. But you're right. In the second set, they're starting to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Here we go with Madeline Granados. Granados once again put it out the last time her service was at turn. So let's see what she does with it this time. She puts one just inside, just over the 10-foot line. Good serve. And that one, a flat-footed swing from number 13, Luca Von Fossen for the kill.
In my ever-growing volleyball knowledge that I'm looking at, ever-growing, and you're smiling when I say that right now.
Kyle's getting the trial by fire.
But what I'm seeing right here is, like baseball and a pop fly that goes up, communication is key, and I'm seeing that in volleyball more often than not, communicating on who's going to hit the ball.
There's a lot more talking than people realize, and that one sent just a little bit long. By Meharado.
Explain some of that talking that goes on out there. And there's different positioning where they need to be in rotation.
Usually they're letting each other know where they need to be setup-wise on defense.
Yeah.
Where the set's going to go, they'll call for the number. The number means where they're going to spot it. So if you hear a 4, that's going to be on the outside left for your left side hitter.
Yeah.
A 1's going to be a quick set in the middle, but the hitter will call for it, and so they'll be chatting back and forth. And that one not handled by the DS there in the back row.
And that's a little sneaky Barraza right there, playing just a solid game, putting it where the defenders aren't. And
once again, she's spotting the ball, and so the good vision
Yeah.
on her part is really helping out the East High Blades right now. 12-10 here in the second set, East leading. And the small pass over the net just weasels its way over.
Barraza again. Seems to be the right spot at the right time.
And again, East leading by 3 here in the second set, 13-10. And she puts that one in the net. Point to the Wolfpack. You know, we've really been enjoying the student section here from Ridgeview this evening.
Yeah.
They're really a spirited group of kids.
These volleyball games are really found interesting. The Black Hole at Stockdale's got a very unique student section, even at their volleyball games. So it's
the
fun.
TNT zone at Frontier.
Yeah,
they really get into it. It's a lot of fun to show up to those games and listen to those kids.
Next week we will be at the TNT zone and see that with Centennial and Frontier going on right there.
Which is a classic Northwest Bakersfield matchup in the SWYL. Meharada with the serve. Good set by number 3, Cora Garcia, and put away by Crystal Zavala. And the Wolfpack pulling within 2. Now serving, JoJo Mata. Correction, number 14, Kylie Salinas on the serve there. Good dig by Denise Corona. Gonzalez swinging from the left side. Quick set to number 12. And that's handled. Good job by the libero there.
Garcia.
Oh, that's the setter, excuse me. Garcia trying to get a back set there. And once again, a little miscommunication on the timing there between Balmer and Aldana. And point goes to the Wolfpack, and they're crawling back in now, 13-14 here in the second set.
Cora Garcia had a great, action on that last point right there for the Wolfpack.
Balmer not sure where she's setting that one, but Gonzalez can't handle it and puts it out of bounds. And we're tied at 14.
And we haven't mentioned Precious Gonzalez this second set right here, so good job on Ridgeview trying to keep the ball away from not giving those kill opportunities.
Balmer with the tip. And that's going to come off the block. And point's going to go to Ridgeview. (15-14) Ridgeview right now. Ridgeview down 1-0 here in the second. And that one sailed just a little bit long. And we're tied once again at 15. Now back in the game for the Blades, number 3, Madeline Granados. And back to serve, Soleil Balmer. Balmer sends a nice floater. Libero handles it. And that one dinked over the net on the dink number 11, Crystal Zavala. And the Wolfpack leads 16-15 now here in the second set. Now serving senior number 5, Leilani Natividad. Balmer with the set. And Precious Gonzalez with the kill. You know, neither team right now really getting any power on the swing. And so when the ball's put a little bit too close to the net, it's kind of hard to swing hard without going into the net. Gonzalez back to serve. Tied at 16, and she puts it in the net. And Ridgeview's going to go ahead 17-16 now.
You know,
and Wolfpack substitution now entering the game. Luca Von Fossen back to serve Crystal Zavala.
Coach Clemens just wants to finish this second set off, but those unforced errors into the net.
Alyssa Barraza unable to get the ball over the net, puts it in. Clemens is going to ask for a timeout here.
Absolutely. I think that's a smart call right there. It's just lately, I don't know if it's wearing down or just refocus your team right now. Is no more errors. Let's get the ball over the net. Give an opportunity to keep the ball in play.
Yeah, Ridgeview down 18-16 here in the second set. They trail 1-0. A great evening here at Ridgeview High School in Southwest Bakersfield. A raucous crowd.
Shaking our set right now. Got signs all over the place. This is a great atmosphere that they've done for a volleyball game.
Good swing over there on the left side by Barraza. Barraza picks up the pass, and a back set, not quite really what she wanted, and it can't be handled by Granados. Point to Ridgeview, and Ridgeview now up 3, 19-16 here in the second set.
And is this the little run that we've been kind of talking about all night? Which team is going to start to pull away?
Zavala's serve. Good pass on the one, and she can't put it away. Once again, Granados having a little bit of trouble getting the ball over the net here at the end of the second set. 20-16, Ridgeview leads. Balmer setting to Gonzalez out of the back row. And responding in kind, number 11, Crystal Zavala with the swing from the back row. And that one sails long.
Almost like a Superman right there.
Point Ridgeview, and this is that snowball effect. You know, we talked about this earlier about getting on a run, and, you know, some teams, they get it in their head, and once the run starts, it's kind of hard to stop the bleeding. Barraza with the swing. Barraza once again, and that one's it just dribbles over the net. Barraza again, and she puts it in the net. Point Ridgeview.
And when you have those runs, sometimes luck's involved. You see that in all sports when a little bit of luck that goes into that little dribble over the net that you talked about.
Ridgeview leading 22-16 here in the second set. On a big run, about a six-point run. That's a block out of bounds. And the point to East. East finally stops the bleeding. And now into serve, libero, number 1, Mariah Tillery. Tillery with the floater just over the net. Good serve. And that one dribbles over the net. And it's blocked. Meharada with the big block. Once again, Meharada with the big block. And Barraza with a swing, looking for the back of the court. That one sails a little bit long. Von Fossen not able to put it down.
You know, as the game evolves and changes, you make those adjustments, and there's been a healthy dose of Barraza getting some of those, but somehow figuring out a way to get Meharado and Gonzalez involved in that.
And Tillery once again with that floating knuckleball just over the net. Hard to handle. The backcourt of the Wolfpack having a little bit of trouble handling that serve, and here she says it again. Deep into Wolfpack territory. Bomber with the set, and the big swing by number 9, Jackie Meharado. East now clawing their way back in. They were down by 6 points now within 2, 22-20 here in the second set. Tillery still serving. And Tillery once again with the ace. Jules Herrera trying to handle that. She should have allowed for the libero to get that, but sometimes that ball just seems like it's coming at you, and you can't stop yourself from going to get it. Her libero had a straight shot at it. She swapped out.
Ooh.
And the little break there must have helped the Wolfpack, as that ball goes right into the net.
I think if Coach Clemens is thinking if they get this game 2, they can get the whole game that goes on there. So we'll see what happens in this second set.
Balmer with the set. And Mejarado with a big block. And he's tied down now, 23-22. Oh, scratch that. They're calling Mejarado in the net.
Wow.
And the point goes to Ridgeview, and it's going to be set point.
What a change. That's a momentum change right there. Look clean from up here, but you know, we go back and watch the game film, see what it looks like.
Well, the official has a spot right there,
wow,
and he's the one that called it. So nice floater over the net. And a little atonement for Mejarado with the block there.
You know, Mejarado at one point was leading the section in blocks in basketball, and we can definitely see she's got length with those arms to be able to block those down right there. Good.
Madeline Granados with the serve. She's had a little trouble here so far in the first 2 sets. She sends that one deep, and it actually is picked up by the libero. And that point's going to go to East High. 23-24.
Wow.
East trailing here in the second set, and a timeout called by the Ridgeview Wolfpack.
I'd like to thank our sponsors, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. They've done a great job for us all season of really being a huge financial supporter for us. U.S. Army, another huge financial supporter for us. They come to school sites every week and do a push-up contest at lunch, and there's been push-up contests at halftime. The U.S. Army has been great supporters of the Kern High Network. So Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, U.S. Army have been great. Tony's Pizza has been great. We give our Tony's Pizza player of the game, player of the match.
That's right.
Football and basketball has been great. This Wolfpack student section, we'd like to thank you. Are shaking our set all over the place. It is a fun atmosphere tonight, and it's led by students, and I really like that. That's a good, to show that camaraderie and spirit is really good. So.
Yeah, it's great that they show up to support their classmates and their, successes, and even when they fail, they still are here, rooting them on. Good serve by Granados. Free ball pass back over. Balmer with the set. Granados there with the tip. Setters out. And that one, a little confusion over there on that side. And the Wolfpack, they'll take the second set 25-23. And we're tied at 1 set apiece after 2.
What a game. What are your thoughts of that second game? What do you think was the real momentum change? Or there was pretty evenly matched to look on there?
Well, there was a big swing in the beginning for Ridgeview. They were starting to take off and sail away with the game. I thought it was going to end up to be 25-16. Yeah. And then East High crawled right back in it and went on a run of their own. So, I mean, the ebb and the flow, the way that they're both kind of, pushing each other to get on these small little mini runs is impressive. And they're both really doing a great job right now of trying to keep this game tight. I mean, the first game was 25-23 East, second game 25-23 Ridgeview.
Natividad? We'll get it. We're right there.
I'm pretty sure that's how I said. I'm getting scrutinied now.
Yeah, we're trying to fix that
by
last
fans.
name on there. Yeah. Hey, I
thought I was saying it right. I don't think I added enough Spanish flair to it.
Natividad.
All right.
We're going to get that
Natividad.
right. All right, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, such is live production.
Yeah, absolutely.
When fans can literally walk right over to you and tell you, hey, That's my kid. You know,
that's great. I like that interaction with our fans. That's
in the interest of full disclosure, I am the public address announcer at Frontier High School. I've been there my 8th season this year, and I take a great deal of pride in pronouncing young student athletes' names properly, so I don't ever take offense when a parent comes up and says, "Hey, you're calling my kid's name wrong, or you're not emphasizing certain things right." We don't terribly mind. I want to make sure that they get their due.
And one thing we're about at the Kern High Network is promoting all of our students and making memories for them. That's what the high school experience is really about. Tom, you and I have had conversations about that often, and I think this is a good segue of what we're all about. And so the Kern High Network, we're forever evolving. We're in the infant stages right now, but we're really growing, and we just want everyone to know that we do care about all students. So we're going to be going to Kern Valley for a football game where it's I got to go test my connection speed to make sure it can be out there right in the middle of the valley.
You may have to have a conversation with the school before you go there, make sure to see if they've got a land.
We're going to go out there and take a look at that, and I've talked with their administration. They're excited about that, but we've been out at Shafter. We've been out at Arvin. All the students in the Kern High School District deserve to have their moment in the sun, and I think this is a great opportunity, a great platform for us to be able to do that. Whether it's through football and volleyball that we do in the fall. We're going to pick up wrestling and basketball and even try some soccer in the winter. And then as we get into spring, we're going to have track and we're going to have baseball, softball. We're going to try and hit a number of platforms that we can look at on there.
Well, Vin Scully's been my hero for years. And
that's why
I've always had some people tell me, hey, you should do baseball. And I felt bad for the new announcer. I wouldn't want the announcer job at Dodger Stadium because how do you replace Vin Scully?
You don't.
You really do. It's like listening to your grandpa call a game.
Who's the play-by-play for the Lakers right now?
I don't know
exactly.
Who is doing the play-by-play for the Lakers?
I don't know either. And it's Chick Hearn comes in there, and that's the one thing. Like, who's the play-by-play for the Dodgers right now? We could probably see it on there, but it's a tall undertaking to have there following those guys.
Yeah, well, the good thing about the Kern High Network, I appreciate the opportunity you guys have given me. A dream of mine for years was to do play-by-play. And as a big sports fan and a big fan of kids, this is the best of every scenario.
Garcia with the serve for the Wolfpack to get it started in the third game. And
big swing by Mejarado on that.
Oh, yeah.
And they picked it up pretty well, even off that block. Granado's having a little bit of trouble over there on the right side handle on that one, puts it in the net. And the Wolfpack off to an early 1-0 lead here in the third set.
A lot of confidence in volleyball. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you lose it a little bit. Hopefully you get it back as quick as you can.
And right there, Granados making up for the one she put in the net last time. And she's back to serve. 1-1 here in the third set. And a big swing over there in the middle by Jackie Mejarado. And East off to a 2-1 lead. Kyle, we're going to see, I think, a little bit in this third set. I think we're going to see a little more hitting. I think the passes are going to get a little crisper. I think the sets are going to be put in the right spot, and I think the hitters are just going to be swinging.
And I think Coach Clemens is going to go back to a healthy dose of Mejarado and Gonzalez. And we see right here Granados getting some confidence back with an ace, and she had a kill early on. And
that's her third ace in this contest so far tonight. So she has the ability to put the ball in the right spot over the net. And a free ball sent over the net. Good pass by East. And she's going to get called. Yep. She's going to get called in the net again. Mejarado called in the net. Point to the Wolfpack.
And you could see the steam coming off that right there. Paige Miller's shaking her fingers right there. That's a lot of ball coming from Gonzalez.
Von Fossum with the serve for the Wolfpack. And a big swing by Paige Miller, finally getting back into the game again.
Yeah, we talked about that. And once again, Garcia, great game with the set on there, right to Miller.
Miller, just a freshman. I think she's close to 6 foot tall, is what the coach told me. and a big future here at Ridgeview. Nice tip by Mejorado there. Mejorado once again putting it over the net. Beals with a good set and a swing once again by Miller. And that one put into the net. They don't call it a block. They did call that a block. Wow. It didn't appear to have hit. It didn't appear to have hit the defender, and should have been called a 4. Barraza back to serve for the East High Blades. And she puts it in the net. We're tied at 4 here in the third set.
Limit those unforced errors right there. That's the name of the game right here. At least give your team a chance to have a block, to play defense.
Miller with the deep serve, and it goes out of bounds. And East up 5-4. And Mejorado sends that one long. Blade libero back in the game, number 1, Mariah Tillery. And now rotating into the game for Ridgeview, number 5, Leilani Natividad. Big swing by Precious Gonzalez there. We haven't heard much out of her.
Wow.
And the tip by the Wolfpack, Crystal Zavala.
Definitely, I think, is going to be solid at the next level. Maybe not the D1, but that D2 NAIA right there has a vertical leap that's pretty impressive for a high school student.
And right there, we just saw it. Gonzalez putting that one away. And you know something, we didn't really see a whole lot of her or Mejorado in the second set because they just weren't able to get the ball. They weren't able to pass the ball to the setter in a way that was conducive with running a play. Bomber, the setter, back to serve. And a big set cross court and put away by Precious Gonzalez. You know, that play was all about the setter. Balmer put that set all the way cross court on a good arc at a perfect spot so that Gonzalez could put it away. All the credit on that play goes to her.
East is doing a really good job at the net. The last, probably I would say, set and a half as they got back into the second set.
And a big block there, but picked up by the libero for the Wolfpack. And another swing there by Zavala, but she couldn't get the ball over the net. And point goes to East.
And they're really challenging, like I said, at the net. I think that's the difference. And I think East has that length and that vertical right there to really close it out at the net.
Yeah, well, right now they have Mejorado and Gonzalez both in the front row to block.
Yeah.
And good work by number 12, Marin Aldana on that play. She picked that one right off the block, got the ball up in the air so that it was able to be set and put away.
And when Aldana's down there, she's been a force defensively at the block. She's played a really solid game. May not get the kills as the other two, but she's had a really good game for the Blades.
Good floater over the net by Balmer. They're hard to handle. And then she sets a quick set right in the middle there. A little confusion there getting around the blocker. And she can't get that one put away.
Game of inches right there. An inch bump right there. Throws everything off.
It doesn't happen often, but it does happen where your setter just can't seem to get around the front row blocker.
Yeah. Throws everything off. Timing.
Now serving for the Wolfpack, Crystal Zavala, and she puts one just over the net. Good tip by Salinas.
A little crossed up on our
and a lift called on the East High Blades. Point to the Wolfpack. Wolfpack down 8-9 here in the third set. We're tied one set apiece so far. And libero, number 1, Mariah Tillery, just puts it over the net.
Excuse me. Little tap right there. One thing I'm really noticing about this game, the setter's role of knowing where they're going, constantly moving all the time to the ball and making sure it's kind of like a motion offense in basketball that people know their spots where they need to go.
Good block at the net there by number 10, Alyssa Barraza, and number 12, Marin Aldana.
Timeout called.
And Ridgeview wants to think it over. Whippy wants to have a small conversation with her kids. Appears they're either out of place or they're not putting the ball where they're supposed to.
So, Tom, we started way back in August. Scrimmage, Golden Valley, Arvin Miramonte. And
the first night I'd ever been on air, and I was horrified, but I had Vance carrying me the entire time on his extremely large back because he's a very giant man.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've just come such a long way and just so proud of the sponsors that we have. We couldn't have done this without Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, or couldn't have done it without the U.S. Army, Pav Solar and Communication, Tony's Pizza, Raymond's Trophies. We've got a lot of people that are really generating help for the Kern High Network. So excited about where we've come and the direction where we're going. That's very important for us.
Yeah, at the conclusion of this one, we'll be doing the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game. It'll be voted on by myself, Kyle, and Kevin Willie. Madeline Granato's having a little trouble still over there on that right side.
You know, she had a good little run where she kind of got things reorganized, but every now and again she goes directly down into the net right there.
You know, it's tough being a right side hitter. That ball, when you're a right-hander and you're a right side hitter, it's coming across your body.
Yeah.
So your body sees the ball first and then your hand gets to it.
Yeah.
When you're a left side hitter, the ball's coming from the outside angle. The first thing to get to it is your hand. So it was always easier for me to hit as a right-handed hitter from the left side, from my power side. Now, if you're lucky, like some places are, Frontier High School has a really good right-side hitter in Caroline McCarty, but they also have a couple of good left-handed hitters. Angela Sierra, a good left-handed hitter for Frontier, and she swings from that side fairly well.
Tillery with some devastating serves for the Blades.
And Barraza having trouble handling that one, and the 13-10 lead now for the Blades. Ridgeview serving. Number 3, Cora Garcia, the senior setter in. Pass really close to the net, but handled, and it's set wide out of bounds on the left. Number 9, Jackie Mejarado, not able to put it down.
You know, Bomber, even in the midst of all that, still trying to make plays for her teammates right there. That's a tough ball right there, still giving an opportunity. Impressive.
And managing to stay out of the net. That's a tough one. That pass mishandled there. Gonzalez. Back rows right now doing a good job of handling the ball. And that block, and everyone stopped playing, but it was still live.
Wow.
Libero, Alyssa Hammond picked that one up for the Wolfpack, and that blocked.
Wow.
And we've got a good rally going here, folks. And Granado send it long.
Hammond's had a really nice game for the Ridgeview Wolfpack at that libero position. Had a lot of digs from the back set. I was going to say the same for East High's. Tillery's had
both
a really
liberos
good game.
are getting worked out right now.
Really good job.
Great serve by setter Cora Garcia. Garcia, the league leader in aces with 58 so far, plus whatever she has here tonight. And we're tied at 13 here in the third set. Both teams have one set so far in the game. And libero number 1, Mariah Tillery, doesn't know how to handle that one. Backed up. It might have been out of bounds. By the time she wanted to make the decision, it was too late. And the Wolfpack take the lead 14-13. Once again, Ham and the libero doing a great job in the back there. And point, and 4 hits called on the Wolfpack point.
And you saw Garcia's hand kind of on that set, kind of got missed out of place. Just an inch, just a small fraction get out of place, and it can ruin the whole set.
Madeline Granados with the serve. And she puts that one in the net, point to the Wolfpack. Wolfpack leading 15-14 here in the third set.
Kind of a dink right there, just kind of a tap.
Not really a kill, but not really a dink, kind of in between.
Yeah.
East High scores the point, and then we're tied at 15 now. Barraza to serve. Beals with the swing. And that one just wide out of bounds. Mejarado swung a little bit too hard to her left and put it just on the other side. Actually, well, the ball, the line judge is calling it in.
Wow.
And they've reversed the call. From here, it looked like it was out of bounds. But the line judge calls it in and overrules. East High now up 16-15 here in the third set. And that's going to be an ace, although it's called long now. You know, Vance Palm and I talk about the volleyball gods. Sometimes they give and sometimes they take it away, but they always seem to square it.
What do they say in basketball? The ball never lies.
That's
right. I mean, things like that go on.
16-16 here in the third. And that one tipped just over the outstretched hands of Soleil Balmer and Jackie Mejarado. You know, quite a combination over there on the right side trying to block, but they got it put away. Point to Ridgeview. Now serving the freshman Paige Miller, and Miller sends it long. And now we're tied at 17.
What a great volleyball game this has been. Evenly matched teams going back and forth. Couldn't ask for a better game so far.
Mejarado with the stinging serve. Little dink over there on the left side by number 11, Crystal Zavala. And that ball dribbles over the net, handled well by the back row of the Wolfpack. And the big swing for the put away by Precious Gonzalez. Blade libero back in the game, number 1, Mariah Tillery, and back to serve, number 9, Jackie Mejarado. Blades up 18-17 in the third set, tied at 1 set apiece. That one hits the tape and dribbles over. And the good set, and with the left-handed swing, not her natural swing, number 11, Crystal Zavala with the put away.
And we've seen a few of those tonight. You know what I mean? Just trying to make plays.
Sometimes you have to swing with the other hand because you just can't get to it.
Yeah.
Now in the game to serve, number 5, Leilani Natividad. Quick set in the middle there to number 14, Kylie Salinas. And a big swing. Precious Gonzalez. That one not able to be handled by the libero in the back row for the Blades. Point goes to the Wolfpack. Wolfpack now up 19-18 here in the third set. Gonzalez not able to handle that one. A free ball sent over. Good pass by the libero, Tillery. And that one put away. Big swing by Precious Gonzalez there. Back in the game for the Blades, number 3, Madeline Granados now in the front row. Bomber serving. And it's an ace for the Blades.
There's little kind of unforced errors right there where, the wheels are spinning. You got a lot of sets going on right there. And unfortunately, there wasn't anyone there for the Wolfpack.
And another ace by Balmer. A lot of that may be, as opposed to an unforced error, it may just be hard to, the ball just can't be handled well by the passer. And the setter doesn't have enough time to get there on a pass where it's just too low. Balmer with the bump set to Gonzalez. And the kill. Blades now up 22-19 here in the third set. We're tied at 1 set apiece. Balmer with the serve again. Sends a floater, and it's an ace.
Wow.
And Balmer doing a great job right now and putting the ball where she wants to. And she's sending that knuckleball. If you've ever seen how a knuckleball works, it works even bigger with a volleyball because there's more mass airflow going over that ball. So it really jumps around on you. And they have no answer for it right now. And it's set point for the East High Blades, up 24-19 here in the third set. That one handled just over the net and sent back over the net immediately and then sent for a hit.
Bomber.
Big swing by Zavala. And East High is going to take the third set 25-19 and take the lead 2-1. So Kyle, your impressions of the third set? They seem to tighten things up a little bit, and everybody, a little bit more of a scoring differential than what I thought we were going to see. They were tied at 19 going late into that third set.
And then Balmer took over at the very end right there. You could just definitely see she was that momentum changer for the East High Blades, serving the ball. We've seen what she can do setting the ball, getting her teammates involved, but I was really impressed. She had a string of 3 straight aces for the Blades, and that really was kind of the difference for them.
Yeah, she's sending that knuckleball over the net right now, and they're really having a hard time trying to figure out how to handle it. And, it's like anything. Tim Wakefield used to throw a knuckleball.
Yep.
And the only one that could catch him was Jason Veritek.
And he had that special glove that was on there for him. Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know who the backup catcher was at the time for Veritek, but I remember watching when they were playing the Yankees, and the backup catcher had pass ball after pass ball after pass ball. Well, the serve right now that Balmer is using, Soleil Balmer doing a fantastic job of no rotation on that ball. She's sending it fast. If you send a slow one, the ball will move a little bit.
Yeah.
But the lower you send it over the net and the faster you send it, it will actually move in the air a lot more. So when you're trying to passing a ball is hard enough when it's rotating. When it's moving on you, it's going to hit off to the right or the left side of your forearms, and you're not going to be able to get a clean pass out of it. So she really went on a run there towards the end of that third set.
And I think if you're Coach Janita Clemens, you go back to that and make sure Balmer is able to continue what she does. But anything you're bringing up the knuckleball analogy in baseball, as a baseball player, as a hitter, you have to sit back and you just got to let it come to you and take where the location is and where the pitch is driving it. I think if I'm Ridgeview and I'm using that same kind of sit back and just let your natural instincts get. Don't try and do too much on it, something that's knuckling and moving too crazily.
Well, and it's funny, it's funny that you say that, because in volleyball, when you're passing a ball, the thing that you have to be is you have to be still. You have to be set. You can't be moving on the ball while it's coming. So if you're not moving your feet to get to the spot in the first place and you're late getting there, it's going to be even harder when a ball isn't rotating to try and get that ball. So watch for them in this fourth set. Watch for Ridgeview to try to get to the ball, to the spot sooner and get set to where they can actually field the ball and get a pass that's in a decent area.
Not having their eyes and everything.
And not still be moving at the point of contact when that ball's coming.
Exactly.
Blades will serve to start the third set here. up 2-1. And that one's put away by number 14, Kylie Salinas. Good set by Emma Beals there. Now back to serve, Cora Garcia, the setter for Ridgeview.
Garcia's had a nice game serving all night.
And they're going to call that a 4-hit, not a block by the East High Blades. And it's 1-1. Yeah, it probably went too low in the net. And it's going to be 1-1 here in the fourth set. Back to serve number 10, Alyssa Barraza. Good block at the net there by Gonzalez and Granados. And Mejorado.
Yeah.
And that one sent a little bit long. Oh, they're not calling it long. They're actually calling that one in. So that point's going to go to Ridgeview.
There may have been a tip right there, but, you know, as you talked about Mejorado and Gonzalez underneath with Bomber, your three probably most skilled athletes for East High at the net right there. So
now in the game for Ridgeview for the first time tonight, number 10, Denise Corona. And Corona, right out the gate, gets an ace. Corona, a junior outside hitter. Big swing by Gonzalez over there on the left side. And that one put away by number 11, Crystal Zavala. And the Wolfpack off to an early 5-1 lead here in the fourth set. Well, the scoreboard says 4, but they've been a little late getting the score, but I'm assuming maybe it is 4. So we'll go with 4 for now. 4-1 Ridgeview here in the fourth.
Great effort right there by Garcia.
Balmer with a good set, put away by Gonzalez over there on the left side.
You know, one thing I've noticed about both teams, they kind of just stay the course and made these games so close, is they stay the course, play their game, what they have, and eventually it comes around to the right sets and the right matchups underneath.
Yeah, with the exception of the end of the third set, these games have been really close for the entire time. Great attempt for a pickup there by number 10, Alyssa Barraza, but can't be handled, and the point goes to Ridgeview. Ridgeview now up 5-2 here in the fourth set. Back to serve number 14, Kylie Salinas. Gonzalez with a big swing. Picked up by the Wolfpack, and a big swing there. And a block by number 12, Marin Aldana.
Aldana's played really solid defensively. Maybe not the offensive presence that we look at, but defensively at the net, she plays really well. Matches up nicely with Gonzalez and Mejorado down there.
Balmer with that floating serve again. Picked up pretty well by the Wolfpack that time. Beals with the swing. Balmer to Gonzalez. And point East High. You know, that vertical you were talking about earlier, Kyle, that's what we really saw on that play. The ball was a nice high arc, about a 15 to 20-foot arc, and she gave her plenty of time to get up in the air. And Balmer sends that one long. I think I could read the writing on that ball as it was sailing past us. No rotation whatsoever. Now serving Leilani Natividad. Balmer with the back set. Passed over the net. A little confusion there. Nobody calling it. And the Wolfpack's going to be called under the net. Point to the Blades. East High trailing 5-6 here in the fourth. Leading 2-1 so far in the contest. Back to serve, Precious Gonzalez.
Ooh, they're going to call in the net right there.
Ridgeview called in the net. Point to the Blades, and we're tied at 6.
Those are tough calls, especially out of momentum changing play on the kill right there. That's just a tough call to make.
Pass from Hammond, good pass. And that one's sent wide left. East High now takes the lead 7-6. Gonzalez once again with the serve. Big swing, but a good block over there on the left side, or on the right side, excuse me.
You know, Zaval's got a really bright future, just a junior right now for the Wolfpack. Something they can build on. But nonetheless, East High does get the point.
Bomber with the bump set. Right over there on the left side to number 10, Alyssa Barraza. East High now on a little bit of a run here. Gonzalez in her 6th serve.
East High runs as Bomber runs. We're starting to realize that right now. She sets her teammates up nicely, and having that setter right there is kind of the cog of East High right now, making Gonzalez and Mejarado what they are.
And it looks like Deb Whitby's going to call a timeout.
It's a smart play right there. The momentum's been shifted.
Blades up 10-6 right now in the fourth. They lead 2-1. And this one not necessarily going the way that we thought it was going to go. They were down by 3, 6-3, and then went on a 7-point run.
You know, in knowing Coach Johnita Clemens, she trains with these girls all summer, gets them going where they need to do. Seen her and her girls doing box jumps and doing all those things, really working in the off season to build it up. And I see her sitting down on the bench. I think this is the culmination of all those months of putting in the practice and the extra workouts and all that stuff in there. We can see the vertical leaps are there, all that stuff too as well. Great job conditioning those athletes year in and year out.
Well, and she goes and finds basketball players to put on her team, which is a smart move.
Yeah,
basketball
absolutely.
players make great volleyball players.
Absolutely.
Gonzalez with a stinging serve on that one. Good pass by Gonzalez. And put away by number 12, Marin Aldana. Aldana finally getting to swing a little bit. She's been blocking all night long, but we haven't got to see her put too many away. And the Blades now up 11-6 here in the fourth. Ridgeview trying to stop the bleeding here. And that one put away by Madeline Granados.
And you talked about this little run right here. We're looking 12-6 going on, and you know, and they just called the timeout too. That's tough when you call a timeout and come back and give up 2 unanswered points.
Usually you're hoping to ice that server a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of take her out of her rhythm and have her put one either long or in the net. And those are all getting close to the back line, but they would fall in, so it's kind of difficult to let that go. Quick set. Great block there.
Look at that.
On the block, number 12, Kari Walton. But she's a little confused because she thought the play had stopped. She thought the official had called the ball dead and quit playing. And point goes to East.
Slick move right there by Barraza, able to get it behind the back. So
Big serve by Gonzalez, and it's handled barely but got back over the net. Good job by the Wolfpack. And the kill by number 10, Alyssa Barraza. And East now leading 14-6 here in the fourth set and leading 2-1 in the game.
Barraza's played a really nice game. And since that timeout, I think it's 4 straight points off that timeout. I mean, this is the last thing.
Again, they were down 6-3. They're on an 11-point run right now.
Wow.
Bomber with a good set. Great dig over there in the back row, and she got it just over the net. Good job by Alyssa Hammond, the libero.
Yeah.
And the bleeding has stopped for the Wolfpack.
But as we see right here, Bomber has just done an amazing job setting up her teammates, giving those opportunities for those kills and, you know, pushing that deep back in there. She's got a great game serving. I mean, she's really nice job.
Wolfpack trailing 7-14. And the ace by number 11, Crystal Zavala. A little confusion there in the front row. Nobody knew how to handle that one. She dropped that just inside the 10-foot line. That's not easy to do.
And here's the thing, if I'm Ridgeview, if East High can do that, we can do that. So maybe they try to find their own little run right here.
Well, we've seen both teams go on runs so far in the game tonight, so it's altogether possible. I haven't counted out Ridgeview yet. An unforced error, the tail of the tape so far in the fourth set. Ridgeview had a little bit of it on their side, and now East is seeing it on their side. 9-14, Ridgeview trailing. Zavala with the floater. And the big kill over there by Madeline Granados on the right side through the block. Point East. East now up 15-9.
You know, and this is the one thing that teams have to learn how to do is how to close games off. You know, watch Monday Night Football game yesterday, the Chiefs and the Redskins. The big knock on Cousins is how can he finish the game, do all that. He actually had a pretty good game. Don't think it was all his fault, but that's how you got to look at these young athletes.
Tillery with the ace. Ridgeview libero, number 6, Alyssa Hammond, having trouble handling that one. She may go back to her. Nice flat-footed swing by number 9, Jackie Mejarado there for the kill.
A lot of power coming behind that.
That ball spinning, just dropped right over the net. Mariah Tillery with her third serve now. East High up 17-9 here in the fourth set. And Tillery with the ace. And Whitby's going to change out the back row and bring Crystal Zavala back in for number 9, Crystal Castaneda. And through the block with the kill, number 3, Madeline Granados. East now up 19-9, and they seem to be running away with this one now, Kyle.
Yeah, and just like that, it came quick right now where all the momentum, all the confidence is on East High. Tillery serving the ball well. Seems like they're moving in the right spaces. Once again, good set by Bomber. A lot of good things happen on the blade side.
Big block right there by Mejarado.
Whether it's basketball or volleyball.
And that was a great swing by Kari Walton. Don't take anything away from her.
Yeah. But
Mejarado was all alone and got all of her hands on it. And that's a double hit, but it's not called. But hey, once again, the volleyball gods have spoken and squared everything.
Yeah, and then, you know, there's frustration that go on there. You want to get on the official, but at this game, it hasn't been about the officials this set right here. East High has just played a better set this set than Ridgeview has. And I may be speaking too soon. The game's not over yet. So
yeah, Hammond with the ace there, and Ridgeview now down 11-20 here in the fourth set. Again, if you're just joining us, it's the Ridgeview Wolfpack trailing right now in the fourth set 11-20, and they're down 2-1 at home here at Ridgeview. And the big kill over there on the left side by number 9, Jackie Mejorado. Mejorado, a big story in this game so far. Done everything right, serves well, blocks well.
Yep.
Kills incredibly well. Granados with the serve. Good dig by Balmer there off the tip. And a big swing by number 13, Luca Van Fossen, for the kill for the Wolfpack. Now coming back into the game for the Wolfpack, setter, senior setter, number 3, Cora Garcia. Garcia will serve. Also in the game for the Blades, number 7, Arissa Camacho. Camacho hasn't seen much time yet this evening. And he's having a little trouble handling that pass. Beals with the set, and that one sent a little bit long by Luca Van Fossen. 22-12 here in the fourth set. Back to serve, number 10, Alyssa Barraza.
And this is a big moment for East as they try to finish this game off. They need to do it, not let Ridgeview back into the game if they want to win this match.
Balmer with a cross-court set. And a swing out of the back row by number 11, Crystal Zavala. And, you know, Ridgeview seems a little deflated right now. I mean, I know they're down 12-23, but, you know, you got to stay in a game like this as long as you can. But, you know, the legs start to tire as the game goes on, and that one sent a little bit long. You know, they don't get up in the air as well as they did in the first set. And so you'll see a little bit of that. But, you know, it's also a matter of getting to your spot and moving around the ball. And I've seen, you know, some of the girls on the Wolfpack team kind of, after the ball serve, kind of move over to their other spot, slowly walking over as opposed to running. And so that, you know, sometimes that is indicative of, you know, you're down and you just, you know, you've kind of had enough. Mejorado with the swing. Good dig by Cora Garcia.
Where I'm kind of seeing the opposite with East High. I mean, you're seeing fresh legs, fresh kills, going back and forth right there.
And Mejorado sends that one just a little bit wide to the left. Point goes to the Wolfpack. Now they're down 15-23.
14-23.
Oh, I thought that actually his score just hadn't been updated yet. So, yeah, it is 14-23. Beals handles the dink well. Balmer with the set, and it's blocked at the net and sent out of bounds. So the Wolfpack will get the point for that. 15-23 here in the fourth set. Wolfpack down 2-1. Back to serve. Number 10, Denise Corona. Mejorado with a big swing, and that's called out. Point Wolfpack. 16-23.
Closing games out, toughest thing to do sometimes. Got to close it out.
Can Ridgeview crawl their way back into this one? And the quick cross-court set there by Balmer. Mejorado with the dink. Beals good pass and coverage. Balmer with a big cross-court set.
Wow, great defense
to Gonzalez. Great defense over there. Good block. And it can't be finished off by the Wolfpack. And now it is match point for the East High Blades. 24-16. Up 2-1 here in the fourth set. Mejorado with the serve. And that one sails long. The Wolfpack still in it for now. Kylie Salinas with the serve. And a big swing there by Precious Gonzalez to put it away. And they take the fourth set 25-17 and win 3-1 over the Ridgeview Wolfpack. The third set kind of didn't go the same way that we thought it would go. Or the fourth set, excuse me. East High pulling away early after being down 6-3, went on a 11-point run to go up 14-6. And the gymnasium starting to empty out a little bit here as the Ridgeview Wolfpack will drop to 1-2 in league play. East High Blades now 2-1. This is their third game in league play so far this season. And coming up here in a little bit, we're going to get to the players of the game. Of course, as is customary, I have 33% of the vote.
No, you have 34 tonight.
I get 34.
You get
I thought we were
34.
going to give the 34 to Kevin.
No, that's you. You're the
So
expert.
I get the 34. Kevin Willie, our buddy over here, he's going to get 33. Kyle Wiley, he's going to get 33. And I, Tom Myers, am going to get 34. Before we get too long in the tooth, I got to see a little bit of football this weekend in my travels. I was out of town while you guys had your games going on here in Bakersfield. I saw my little daughter Megan Myers up at Humboldt State and watched the 17th ranked Humboldt Lumberjacks finish off their competition fairly well. I don't know what the final score was. We left at 35-13 in the third. Yeah. And, of course, U.S. Army, a proud sponsor of ours, my son Blake Pierce in the Army back in Fort Lee, Virginia. I'd like to say hello to him, too. So, with all of it being said, this evening, we're going to defer to Kevin. Kevin, what do you think about our player of the game this evening?
Well, it was tough. There were a couple players on both teams that really stood out. I was looking at Garcia on Ridgeview, and she did a heck of a job of controlling some of those really big, out of control hits that came over. She would ended up almost bouncing off the back wall to grab some of those, and she made a lot of saves. And I think
which for a setter is kind of remarkable because that's the job of the DS or the libero. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with the setter on the other side. I'm going to go with Balmer. I think she really worked hard. There's no getting around the fact that Gonzalez and Mejarado had some great kills and did some great work tonight, but I think Balmer really, as somebody who doesn't get a lot of the glory, she really worked hard and was always there.
Okay. Kyle, what do you think?
Well, Precious Gonzalez has some of the most amazing hops I've seen in all of Bakersfield, and there's a lot of talented people out there. I think of Macy Haddad at Stockdale, Elise Ferreira over there at Liberty, and there's other teams that we haven't even ventured out into. The Palm sisters, Vance's daughters that are out at BHS have some hops, but Precious Gonzalez, I can say, can hang right there with them. She's got potential. Jackie Mejarado did it all tonight for the Blades. She had a really quality game, but K-Dub won. I'm going to have to agree wholeheartedly. I thought Salil Balmer, critical moments in that third set, she made a 5-point run on her own, and she did some great things, and to me it was setting up Gonzalez and setting up Mejarado and doing all those things. She was the difference maker. She was my Tony's Pizza player of the game.
So basically my 34% doesn't mean anything because 66 and 34, not the same number, but you know what? We could talk all night long about.
Vance never lets those numbers bother.
He doesn't. We could talk all night long about Gonzalez and Granados, and we could say great things about Garcia. She did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Luca Von Fossen had some really good plays early on. Paige Miller, the freshman for Ridgeview, did a fantastic, outstanding job.
Alyssa Hammond is the libero. Did a great job.
Alyssa Hammond doesn't get enough recognition for what she's doing over on the other side there for the Wolfpack, and she does really well. You stole my tagline. Balmer took this game over in the third set and went on that 6-point run and served, ace after ace after ace in that knuckleball. And, I think she just did a fantastic job. So for the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game this evening, Soleil Balmer, you are the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game. And congratulations, Kyle Wiley will be coming out to your school, come to your classroom, maybe embarrass you a little bit.
Absolutely.
Hand you a pizza box for a pizza to Tony's Pizza, and you'll be the player of the game. So once again, from Ridgeview High School, it's been a great evening of volleyball. Thank you for the administration of both Ridgeview High School and East High School for having us out. The administration and superintendents for the Kern High School District for all the support they give us. All of our sponsors, Tony's Pizza, Raymond's Trophies, the Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, PAV Lighting and Solar, and the U.S. Army. For everyone, once again, the Blades win. For everybody here with the Kern High School District, the Kern High Network, I'm Tom Myers.
Before we leave,
we're not going to say goodbye yet.
We're not yet. You're doing a great job. I don't want to steal the thunder, but tune in Friday night. Titan Tom Myers, that's your nickname.
That's my Twitter handle.
Titan Tom Myers is going to be at Liberty calling play-by-play. The Liberty Frontier game looks to be a great game, good measuring stick for them.
I will be there with Rick Van Horn on Friday night, and you will be with Vance Palm.
I will be with Vance Palm. We got Kevin Willey, and we also have Rich Cornford going to be at the North-South game. Definitely excited to be that. Tune in Friday night for the KernHighNetwork.com. Make sure you guys watch those football games. Very exciting time. Tom, take us away right now.
Follow us online at KHSD Athletics online on Twitter, also on YouTube and Facebook. And for all of us here at the Kern High Network, so long, everybody.